Starting right guard shot, no longer in school. Starting middle linebacker shot, no longer in school. Two players fighting right in front of the coach when he's trying to make things work out. Starting center arrested for shooting somebody in the face with a BB gun. Most coaches, that would be pretty much a career's worth of crap to deal with. I think that sums up the last 2 weeks for me.
That's Undefeated, the 2011 Oscar Award-winning documentary featuring Bill Courtney and his Memphis high school football team. Bill Courtney is now the owner of a multi-million-dollar lumber company, a motivational speaker, and a volunteer high school football coach who now lives in Memphis with his wife and 4 kids. He recently launched a weekly podcast highlighting ordinary Americans who help and inspire people in their communities.
We need an army of normal folks, just people like me and you saying, hey, I can help in my community. It's not government, it's not fancy people on TV, it's just you and me filling a need. We could change the trajectory of the country. It's almost too obvious, yet we got to take the first steps.
Joining me now to discuss his new podcast, An Army of Normal Folks, is Coach Bill Courtney. Bill, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I love the name of your podcast because it doesn't rely on anybody else. It puts the focus on the individual at home. Army of Normal Folks, which it seems to me is our only hope in this country.
Yeah, I do too. You know, there's neighborhoods that we drive through all over the country, in my hometown of Memphis, where you look down the road or you pass by on the interstate over the viaduct and you look down and you see the despair and the poverty and the crime and the disenfranchisement. And it's the place you don't want to have a flat tire. It's where you don't want your car to break down. And as you pass by, you think, you know, somebody ought to do something about that down there one day. And you say that as if the sentiment matters. And I think we maybe need to twist that rearview mirror about 15 degrees to the left and look yourself and say, you know what, maybe I could do something about some of that one day. And so that's kind of the platform that launched this idea of an army of normal folks.
So interesting. You know, the only thing worse than somebody ought to do something about that is the sentiment of there ought to be a law. And all of that just sort of allows people to skate, you know?
It's absolutely true. And I mean, let's be honest, government has proven woefully inadequate.
Amen.
A bunch of people sitting around talking about it isn't fixing anything. It's just going to take normal people that have normal problems with your children, your spouse, at work, money problems. We all have. Normal people have normal problems, but we don't do things because we're bequeathed or elected or part of some NGO or beautiful. We don't do good things because of that. We do good things despite the difficulties. Normal people with normal things going on in their life that just see an area need in their community. They employ their abilities and discipline with their passion and help. And an army of normal folks seeks to share those stories to be redemptive and interesting and entertaining, but mostly inspirational, to try to literally build a community, an army of normal folks that can celebrate helping those in our community.
So let's play a clip from your podcast this week. I think it's an interview with Arshay Cooper.
Why a kid from inner city West Side Chicago can't learn in school even though it's free and provided for.
I heard gunshots when I slept. I skipped over pools of blood. I lost friends. I ran for my life. I seen people take others' lives to protect theirs. And I seen what some soldiers have seen in war, but before I was 13 years old. And I am hungry at the same time. I wonder if my mom's gonna call home. And there's no way after seeing all that, I can walk in the classroom and learn about who really discovered America, or what's 50% of half.
So, you know, Bill, as somebody who does not wait for other people to fix problems, you've helped lead a lot of people to better lives. What do you find is the most successful motivator when you're dealing with kids who are either aimless or maybe going down a wrong path?
The simple edification of others. The truth is, the greatest leaders of our time have served. in order to lead. And if you think about the greatest leaders of our time, King and Gandhi, and the list goes on, they're servants first. And through serving, you lead. And what I found is, the truth is you get 1,000 more times out of that service that you put into an effort. You get 1,000 more times out of it. And Arshay, who you just listened to, the story goes on, he was part of the first all-black rowing team that competed nationally all over the country and changed minds and perspectives about that sport. And this is a kid from inner city West Chicago, but the thing is, the person that helped him get there served him and led him, and now he is turning around serving and leading in other communities, do the same thing for other kids that came from where he came from. He's just a normal guy, and the guy that introduced him to rowing was a normal guy. Again, it's not going to be government or fancy people. It's just normal folks getting out of their comfort zones, seeing areas of need and saying, I can help. And if we could create an army of those people across this country, we literally could fix the proverbial it that's wrong with us.
Well, thank you for being a field general in this army of normal people. You're right. That's our only hope. Thank you so much, Bill.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.